What is up? What is going on? Welcome. Can y'all hear me? Let's start there. Can you guys hear me when I'm speaking? Let me know. Comment down below. Let me know if you hear the words that I am saying. Let's see. I don't know. honestly, that's the topic. But comment down below. Do y'all hear me? Let me know, because I don't want to just be talking. Y'all have no clue what I'm saying. What is up? What is up? I mean, we're not going to sit right here and talk down on the people who enjoy OnlyFans or anything. It's really just, I guess, a conversation surrounding it. Because I see so many other people like talking about this. OnlyFans was a huge thing, you know, it blew up in COVID times, all the other stuff, everybody sitting at home and getting on their computers and whatever. So this really did blow up, right? And so I think it's very interesting when I heard the news, because I'm not sure if you guys watch Kevin Samuels. I'm gonna just go ahead and throw that out there, but he's been saying a lot. He was just like, you know, go ahead and, I mean, when OnlyFans stops, you can get a job at Subway, and we all thought it was funny, right? Until it stopped. And I think it was pretty quick transition. So interested in, I guess, like hearing your thoughts going through this, and maybe, I don't know, we'll talk about it. We're waiting for JoJo, but he moves on Black people time, if y'all know what that means. So he moves on Black people time.
Sorry, I'm here. I'm here, everybody. I'm 3 minutes late. Sorry.
Black people time. That's a real thing.
So.
Alright, so, because there are a couple ways that we can do this. It's a lot to cover. And we can go from the debating standpoint of it. Huh?
Debating? Oh, we can. We can.
Because I think it's a lot going on here. But we can go from debating it.
What's up, everybody?
And the way that we can tackle this is one of us will take a side. Whether or not you agree with the side, you take the side, period.
Okay.
Let's see how quick you can think on your feet. The problem is not the people, but the fans. All right, let's see. Let's see what comes up. So for the people who don't know what's happening at this point, I have the article pulled up. If you are not aware of what's going on with OnlyFans, they decided to prohibit public sexual activity on the site. They decided to prohibit it. And there's one, so people found out randomly, apparently, like they posted some content and OnlyFans took it off the computer. They took it off the internet, and they said, they sent them a message instead of leaving their content up there and said, "Dear user, your account has been flagged by the system. Some of your posts have been removed that violate our terms of service," our new terms of service.
They are down with that. That is insane.
Please note that it is prohibited to post inappropriate content.
They did this already?
Yep.
Well, let me take a picture of this.
It's now prohibited to post inappropriate content. Now, I'm not going to sit right here and talk down on nobody.
That is
but
insane. Already?
I think with this happening, because there are so many women who, you know, have relied on this, even men who have relied on this, I think we should see how quick JoJo thinks on his feet. I think also with me, and we'll go ahead and debate it.
Wait, what?
So,
What's this computer? Okay.
Dang. We'll go ahead and debate it. So, we're going to have to choose a side. And I know, so I guess it'll be...
We can go ahead and do that.
I guess it'll be... What should it be?
Okay, so since we're doing the debate on OnlyFans, I'll pick the hard side. I'll defend the OnlyFans girls. I'll defend them.
You'll defend them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I'm gonna go on the other side of it.
But now I go hard. Y'all think she goes harder than anybody. Like, she shows no mercy. I be trying to give him some mercy, but she don't play.
I'm gonna go on the other side of it because I'm not defending anything. And I'm not gonna say that this is exactly what I believe in, but fact of the matter is, you know, there are two sides of the fence here.
Yep.
So, to start, so inappropriate content is what? For the people who are just getting here, inappropriate content is adult content. I feel like the word we're not really allowed to say on YouTube because YouTube is really finicky. But, you know, adult content. When you hear OnlyFans, what comes to mind?
That is wild.
What comes to mind? So, to start, in my opinion, this is the best thing for them because if they're trying to like go mainstream or whatever, when I hear OnlyFans, I'm not thinking anything like if I had a business, if I was doing like personal fitness or whatever, I'm not about to sit right here and go on OnlyFans and broadcast my personal fitness brand on there because it's attached to adult content. And so when I go out and I say, oh yeah, I'm a personal trainer, you can follow me on OnlyFans, they'll be like, what? And as an owner of a brand, I just wouldn't want my name attached to anything like that. Like now if you built something up so much as like a company with OnlyFans, and then now people are only attaching it to this one niche thing, it would be much more beneficial for them to disconnect from that and then attach to so many other things. Like people can be on there cooking, which I'm sure they're doing, but you're not really hearing about any of that stuff. You only really hear about like the adult content. People are saying it in songs. I'm gonna start an OnlyFans, all this other stuff. Like, why would I want that? This is best for them.
Okay, so since we're debating, I'm gonna tell y'all why this is the worst thing they can possibly do. At the beginning, before COVID hit, OnlyFans had 20 million users on it. After COVID, like during the process of COVID, the word got out that you can basically sell that type of work on their site, the adult content on their site. They went from 20 million users to 120 million users, and that's just the people that's just the people promoting their work. So they made approximately $400 million within the past year. And while they're at the top of the game in the sex industry, in the adult industry, they decide to rebrand. And what sense does that possibly make? Another scenario this can be played in is the creator of Chipotle. He didn't want to create a Mexican restaurant that sells that type of food. He wanted to create a fine dining restaurant, but he didn't because he realized the area he was in, he was dominating. It makes no sense to switch fields that you're dominating in any business arena ever. For me personally, I do reaction videos. If I'm getting a lot of views on my reaction videos and my prerogative is to make money, why would I switch to vlogs if I'm getting the views and stuff I want for reactions? It makes no sense.
Okay, and I hear what you're saying, but the thing that I want you to understand is that reaction videos are not adult content. They come with two completely different things. When you're doing reaction videos, there are so many ways that you can like branch out and you can do other types of content. You can go from reaction videos and you like one song and then you can go into, well, I want to learn how to play this song. You can vlog your experience trying to learn how to play a song. You can vlog your experience of your day-to-day when you're listening to this music, how it changed your life. Like you can really document this stuff. With adult content, something like that specifically, it places you in a very confined space. So it's so much that you could do when people are associating your brand with a certain thing. There's only but so much that you could do. Like a lot of these girls that are leaving OnlyFans or that no longer could make their money from doing this type of stuff, now that they're out here in the world, if people know that they have an OnlyFans or that they had an OnlyFans, how likely is it, do you think, that they're going to end up getting a job from it? And this is just people who had this who were using this platform for this type of stuff. If you own the platform, I am now the reason, or my brand is now the reason that you can't find a regular job because you were out here posting this type of stuff. I don't want that on my back. Like this, and it's not even their fault. I'm sure this was not their intention. It's kind of just what happened. Now I hear what you're saying about like the money part, and they grew. Yes, they did grow. But in this SEX sells. It does. So they could continue to make millions off of this. But from what it sounds like, the reasons why they're trying to rebrand is because they want to become like more mainstream. Like they want it to be different. They want their name to be, now it doesn't even seem like it's about money anymore. It's really just about the brand and like how it's being portrayed by people when they talk about it. I don't even think that they want their name associated with anything like this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I understand. You're basically saying, correct me if I'm wrong, that the OnlyFans isn't rebranding for money. They're rebranding for the sake of their name.
That's what it seems like. Like girls have literally gone on OnlyFans. There are success stories about girls turning 18. The night that they turn 18, they start an OnlyFans. They post their first video. They make hundreds of thousands of dollars in one night. On who? These women, like OnlyFans isn't making money. They've made tons and tons of money. So if their only goal was to make money, I doubt that they would be rebranding right now. But it doesn't seem like that's what it is. They want to become more mainstream. They don't want their name associated with anything like this. And it makes sense.
Well, okay, to combat that, I say that in that scenario, they're taking a really big risk. Like, it's a high chance this won't work. Because once you have a reputation for something, it's extremely hard to create a new reputation. For example, imagine if Donald Trump tried to come out as this liberal, greenhouse person who loves society, who loves giving away money and doing all these things. It makes no sense. Once you have a specific reputation, it's almost impossible to get rid of that reputation. Let's say OnlyFans gets rid of all porn and gets rid of everything. What's going to happen? One thing that's going to happen, they're going to lose hundreds of millions of people, of users. They're going to lose momentum, and they're still going to have that reputation of sex selling. So, to me, it's not really a logical decision if you want to continue to build the capital you're already building, and it's not a logical decision because your reputation is basically already known. I don't want to be that guy that says your reputation is already known, but it's already known. And you were the leader of that industry. Although you didn't want to be, you're the head, you're the big dog in that industry. And you completely kind of gave up on it. You're not really fixing anything. Other businesses are going to come up and take that spot. The only thing you're really doing is hurting yourself. The OnlyFans brand, they want to enter into a market where everyone can post their stuff, and everyone can, like, it's not just known for that adult work, but they're already entering a more competitive market. They have Patreons who do that. They have Discords who do that. You want to enter that market when you're already succeeding at another market? To me, it's like, what's the point? You already won at the market. You want to be an entrepreneur. You were. It wasn't in the area you wanted, but that's kind of a not a crybaby thing to do, but it's kind of a it's not a logical thing to do to just randomly switch when you already built that success.
I get that they do have a lot of competitors, so at this point it would be a very competitive space, but I really don't think that it's oversaturated yet. I don't think that this is a very oversaturated market. I think that it makes sense for them to go into it with the position that they're in right now, given the name. People know OnlyFans. Not saying that people don't know, Patreon and all this other stuff, but people know OnlyFans. Now, the reputation that it has is different, but if you're saying that, okay, well, you already have a reputation, how are you just going to do this? Us ourselves, we could be a brand. Like, we are a brand. So if, let's say you do all these terrible things and you end up going to jail, and then you come out of jail and you're a changed person, you're very new, like, your perspective on life is different, you know that you won't commit these crimes, you know you won't do these things anymore, you want to do your best to make sure that people don't see you in that same light. There is a way for you to rebrand yourself so that people don't see you that same way. And I think that just in that light, OnlyFans could do the same thing. Now, they had their go during COVID. Everybody knows their name. Everybody knows that they have this kind of reputation, but it's nothing that we can put on OnlyFans. It's mainly something that we can put on the people who are using OnlyFans for that certain type of content, and then that's where it ended up growing. Like, that's the type of area that it ended up growing in. But I think, like, with them being such a big brand, I envision that this will be beneficial for them to do that, because if they were to successfully change their niche and to go into like a more broad spectrum of different things that they could do, I really think they could triple the amount of money that they made just by being in this adult content world, if they do it right. I don't think it's something that they shouldn't try, though.
Understandable. I get what you're saying. You're saying basically they're limiting themselves from by staying into the adult industry world, and they're also, maybe it's a moral thing on it. I don't know. I don't know the CEO of OnlyFans. Maybe it's a moral thing on it. And somebody also commented venture capital. So isn't that like investments from isn't that basically people investing in your business? I'm unsure. I think it's when people invest in your business so they can build it bigger. They get more venture capital when they you get more venture capital when someone gives you money.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe all these things maybe all these things I can take into account. But the fact of the matter is, they're going to lose millions of people on their site the second they rebrand completely. There's a possibility that getting over that hump can make their business 10, 20 times more profitable. But the fact of the matter is, they have to get over this hump. And what's the likelihood that they're going to get over this hump?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's risky. It's really risky. And Jesus, I agree with you. Like, OnlyFans is looked at as a way for women to be like independent, and women like are bossing up. They really are bossing up. You can go on here and you can make tons and tons of money. So I'm not going to sit right here and deny that that's happening, and I'm not going to sit right here and look down on anybody that's doing that. Yeah. All that I'm saying is, though, I think that at this point, OnlyFans has seen an increase in the amount of money that they're making. They've seen it. As JoJo said, it went from 20 million to 120 million in a year, or less than a year. That is freaking insane. So they've seen the money. So clearly it's not about the money, because if I were to see that and my one goal was the money, I would keep saying what could make this better for the adult content industry. So clearly it's not about the money. I think it's more so about like where they see or envision themselves going as a brand. And I think that this will be better for everybody, honestly. We have the manosphere standing up on YouTube now, standing up for themselves. We're not going to let no woman talk down to us. We're not going to let no woman take our money. All this other stuff. I think this is great for them, because now you can't really go there for that. Now women have to start getting a bit more creative about how to put their content out there in a different way.
Yeah, you're correct. The fact of the matter is, though, since we're still debating, OnlyFans, you can't deny this. OnlyFans had a strong and durable business model that couldn't have been like disrupted unless they did it themselves. OnlyFans, the business model for OnlyFans could have lasted 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. You can't lie, because young women, although this is just the truth, young women grow up every day. Like you said, it's 17-year-olds, young women waiting till they're 18 to start an OnlyFans. And it's men buying it the second they started. What's that girl's name? The bad baby girl, you Kiss Me Outside girl? She made like $2 million her first day on OnlyFans, the day she turned 18.
And that's more money than anybody would see in their lifetime.
Yes, it is. So you can't deny it. It's a great business model. It's a great business model. You can't deny it. And the fact that you're willingly going against your own business model that is extremely successful, it's hard for me to think that's a smart business move unless you have an extremely better business model, which is unlikely.
Yeah, you think it's unlikely that they'll find a better business model?
Yes, because I said it's unlikely they'll find a better one. Maybe it's not true though, because they do have like $1 billion venture capital right now, I think, and they did make 100. They did increase their users by 100 million. So the CEO is obviously doing something right. But I said it's harder to find a better one because this one barely has any flaws. Unless the United States government comes out with ruling that says, "Oh, you cannot sell that type of work." What flaws are in their business model? It's extremely passive. There's more users. It's actually oversaturated with creators. It's oversaturated with creators, and creators become of age every single day, and men obviously are willing to buy it.
That makes sense. But now my question is, why? Why are men? Because I see some people commenting that you can get this type of stuff for free. Why are men willing to give up so much money for something that they could get for free?
I can answer that.
Why?
Think about how society is progressing. What percent of men can get what percent of men can get a girlfriend based off of a woman's natural standards? The average woman's natural standards.
Can get a girlfriend or can get a girl to sleep with them?
Can get either. Not that many. We can just say not that many. We both know it's not that many guys.
It's not.
Okay, think about the guys who can't get this. Of course they can still get that stuff for free online. However, that intimacy they cannot get for free online. OnlyFans presents a source of intimacy or fake intimacy.
Does it?
This is why men purchase it. Think about it. An OnlyFans girl has 50 people in her OnlyFans. Let's say she has 50 people. You pay for her top tier service where you can message her twice a day. What other service can do that? What other place, if you're not getting if you can't get girls in the real world, what other place can you do that and get a response? You can't. That's the intimacy that's presented in OnlyFans. That's why it sells so much. It's not really the actual work they're doing, it's the intimacy that they're selling.
But okay, because now my mind goes to, is intimacy what guys want? Because from what I've heard or what I've seen, it doesn't really look like, for most guys, that doesn't really look like that's something that they would be like attracted to. Like, it seems like men want something more like sexual. So if that is your goal, then what the heck would women like messaging you, and it feels more personal? Is that they're paying for like that personal feeling, like the girl only wants them? Is that something that's important to them?
Okay, that kind of goes into a man's like natural nature. A man naturally wants to be needed. So of course, like, we're more prone to that type of activity because that's just how we're designed. However, a man wants to feel needed. So when he gets the opportunity to message this girl, if she makes him feel important and needed, that's what really gets a guy. That's what really, like, if he goes on a site that has to work for free, he's not feeling needed or important on that site. When he's in those messages, or when he's buying those little special packages, and when she's sending him special gifts, he feels important. That's just that's kind of a Chico. That's a natural male desire to feel important in life.
Okay, and that makes sense. And I think on the OnlyFans side, it makes a lot of sense as to why they've grown to where they've grown. Because I can't think of another site that would do something like that. I can't think of anything else that would do anything like that. But with that being said, I think overall, even though they had something that was different, I think it was different in a way that like came off as very negative towards their brand and towards like their name. And so even with their creativity and them going in this direction, it sounds like with these new changes, like it was almost accidental genius that they ended up here. Yeah. Like, I really don't think that they intended to be here. So now, like, and yeah, I'm seeing people in the comments too, like, it does not give off a good message to young girls. Like, there's no way the CEO now of OnlyFans could be like, you know what? I'm gonna visit Oakdale Elementary School and tell these young girls why they should be on OnlyFans. There's no way the CEO is gonna do that. Cause now it comes off as creepy. Cause it's just like, how did me as a principal? What do you think this is? You coming in here? No, they're not gonna do that.
And how do you as like an instructor feel about that? Like,
yeah, and that's another thing. So I'm a teacher, and
that's actually offensive.
yeah, like if I had them approaching, like you have OnlyFans, the CEO of OnlyFans, and you have like the CEO of like Target, a very random whatever. Target wants to come in and tell my elementary school students like why, like as a summer job or whatever, they should consider working at Target. In my head, I'd be like, you know what? That teaches hard work. I like that. But the CEO of OnlyFans coming to me saying, you know what? Is it okay if I talk to your kids a little bit about why they should consider a summer job with me? No. And I know that there are other things that you could be doing. I know that you can be on there cooking and doing personal training and all this other stuff. I know that that can happen. But solely based off the reputation that they hold, I wouldn't be for it. Because I know that even with all of this stuff, then it requires me having to explain to parents why I'm allowing the OnlyFans content creator to come in. And then when people are thinking about, or if students are thinking about, well, what can I do on OnlyFans? You Google it. What's the first image that you see come up? What's the first article that you read? Like, all of this stuff is just based off the reputation. And I think that is why they're changing. And I think that that is why they'll still be successful, because they are known as something, so people will know them. So if they do end up doing a change, people will know about it. And there is a high chance that they'll go with it and they'll make triple the money that they're making, because more people would be willing to put their content on there.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that was a pretty fun debate, y'all. As y'all know, that was a debate. I was picking a side. That was actually pretty hard to find even points to defend that.
Yeah, JoJo doesn't even. JoJo's not even on that side.
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not on that side, but it was interesting to look at it in different perspectives.
Yeah, he was on the side of like trying to figure out or trying to defend why OnlyFans is gonna die and why these girls are gonna. Do you still think they're gonna die though?
Who's gonna die?
OnlyFans is. Do you think this is a bad move for them?
Do I think it's a bad move? No, I don't think it's a bad move. I think, if you look at it in the long run, OnlyFans, to me, I think it's gonna do more damage than it is good, from a moral perspective.
If they continue down this road, I mean, they're not really continuing down the road anymore, though. They stopped.
Yeah, they stopped. They cut it. Especially if they didn't even want it to be like that. As a creator, you already know if you want a type of channel and it's not the type you want, you don't even want, like, you continue to do it. It's not even really a real option anymore, because you look at it from a completely different perspective. You look at it from like, let's see in 10 years, do I want to do this? Like, will I want to do this in 10 years? Will I want to do this in 20 years? Will I want my kids to know I'm doing this? So from that perspective, of course he had to switch. No choice, really.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Especially, what if he has daughters? Like, would he want his daughters to be on that?
Yeah.
Nothing against those girls. Nothing against them at all. Or the guys on there. Because there's some guys running it up on OnlyFans too. But not, like, realistically.
Yeah. And nobody is stigmatizing sex workers. Like, at the end of the day, we started this by saying, you guys, we do not care what people are out there doing. If you're out there making money in whatever way that you're making money.
What does that mean?
I
can stigmatize whoever I want. Morally, it is wrong. I'm saying morally, it is wrong. I'm not changing that up. It's the truth.
If you're out there making money in the way that you're making money, then your comment is sharing implicitly. Right. All right. Well, however you see it.
I mean, I don't.
It is what it is. It is what it is. If people are making money in the way that they're making money, that's what they're doing. And if they gotta do what they gotta do for their family, who am I to sit right here and say you can't do that? We're just saying that certain things come with certain things. Everything has a consequence. So, with that being said, that's why I argued so heavily on the fact that if this was just about the money for OnlyFans, then they would continue. Like, but clearly, it seems like it is more of a moral issue for them because they're making all of the money. So, what other reason is there for them to be changing it up? They want to go mainstream. Are they like terrible people? Are they shaming people because they want to go mainstream? It is what it is. But you're blind if you don't see that they have a certain type of reputation and it's not something that they want. It's not something that's representing them in the best light. So, if that's
what were you saying?
I mean, if that's because of adult content, then it is what it is.
Personally, I wouldn't use OnlyFans, but when I heard the news, like when I first heard it, immediately I did think about the livelihood of these women because they are actually workers. Like, you can't lie. You can't just wake up one day and just run get 100, 200, 300 people subscribe to you. No matter, I mean, if you look attractive, it'll be easier, but still, it's a business at the end of the day. I immediately thought about, okay, how are they going to pay their bills? Like, seriously, that's a hit. It is, especially since they're doing it so randomly. Like, to me, that was kind of wild. Like, that to me was kind of wild. I can't lie. Even though I may or may not agree with it, even though I was like, okay, yeah, they're switching up. I didn't like it, but that's wild. Like, out of nowhere like that.
Yeah.
You can't do your work. You can't do the people who support your business that dirty to me.
Yeah, for them to just like switch up like that. Yeah, I mean, I kind of see it. I see it like that, but then again, I kind of.
Who's like no?
Because I understand why it would be wrong to just switch up like that, knowing that other people, make their money from doing certain things on there. Like, as the owner of the OnlyFans brand, you see what's happening on there. So, switching up and not really giving people that time.
Girls waiting until they're 18.
That would suck. And so, if they didn't warn people about this being a change, then that was wrong on their part. But at the end of the day, every form of social media or way that you put your content out there, everybody has rules for their site, and everybody, you can randomly switch it whenever you want. And that goes for what you post on Twitter. Certain people can post certain things on Twitter, and if you post something on Twitter, you may get your account suspended. Like, there were people arguing about our last president and him getting his entire Twitter deleted because it's like, well, we have freedom of speech and stuff, but how could you do that? How could you do that? Now, I'm not going to sit right here and argue for it or against it. All I'm going to say is, they could do whatever they want because it's their platform. So, with this happening,
are businesses allowed to go against the Constitution? Are businesses allowed to go against the Constitution?
I think businesses are allowed to do whatever they want to do. If you are, as long as, if you're doing whatever you want, then it is what it is. Like, Chick-fil-A is closed on Sunday. Are we going to protest that? And they're closed based off of religious reasons. There's nothing we can do about it because that's what they want to do. So I think going on to or making an OnlyFans account or being, putting your content out there, it comes with the risk of knowing that at any point in time they could switch up and they could be like, I don't want this on here.
That is wild, bro. Of course everyone knew, everyone knew that eventually the people on here, they were going to get less attractive and older, and that's just how life progresses. A new, young, hot thing's going to come next after you. You eventually knew, in 10, 15 years, you won't be able to do this. But in 1 year, that is insane, bro. And it's actually really shocking to like me, because as you know, society, I still say progressing. Y'all say regressing, but I say it's progressing in a way that you may not like. It's some things are going up, some things are going down, but it's becoming way more left. Like you would never think a business would fight that type of activity because that's more open now.
Yeah.
So a business actively saying no, we're not doing
Yeah.
that. It shocked me in that instant, and like in that like.
I think it shocked me in the beginning, knowing that businesses or platforms were allowing this type of content. Because when I think of like Instagram, I know that people can post certain things on Instagram, but if you post a completely naked picture or whatever, don't they like remove that really quickly? I didn't know that that was even allowed. Like
Maybe.
Stuff like that was even allowed on these types of like platforms.
Yeah, they be.
So, but with that being said, now that I know that OnlyFans does allow it, it did shock me a lot to hear that they are actually not doing that anymore. Because, like, where did that come from? Did you just wake up and think, dang, my grandmother is disappointed with me because my brand is OnlyFans and it comes off in a very negative light? Like,
yeah.
To some people, it comes off in a negative light. But to others, it comes off as, like, you know, empowering people to go out there and make their own money. Because that's what they're doing. People are building, like, a ton of money, investing into businesses, all this other stuff, taking care of their family from OnlyFans money. And that's dope too. So the fact that they just like switched up real quick is shocking to me.
I feel bad, bro, because there's people who actually like dropped out of college, quit their jobs, like bought Teslas and all these things with OnlyFans. Like they really ran it up, and they didn't. They ran it up, bro. You can't cap. You can't even lie. They ran it. They ran it up, and now it's just like, no, you can't do this no more. That's like a smack in the face. Of course, a new business is gonna come out because that's just how America is. That's just how America is. But for the next year, they're gonna be down bad unless they just start hustling like crazy.
Yeah. And just like Jesus said, because a lot of women did turn to OnlyFans to start doing this. Like, there are many videos on YouTube about why I decided to do not me, but why women decided to like do OnlyFans and stuff. Women that you wouldn't even think or consider would be a part of that type of content and stuff, but they're doing this as a way to support themselves. At the end of the day, people got problems. Like, you got issues that randomly pop up. We're human. We got bills. Like, it's so much going on. And they put themselves out there. And now you got the whole world seeing you. And then OnlyFans pops up and they're just like, and guess what? You put your body out there. You can't take it back. And you can't do it anymore. Like, you can't get paid for this anymore. It's crazy. So.
It really sucks. It really sucks because I do know I'm not an idiot. I know a lot of girls who use these sites don't want to do it. They just do it because they really do need the money. But is that the majority of people on these sites?
Well, I think that if we say that people are into this content just because they have to be into this content, then it would come off as wrong because we're like degrading sex workers and the fact that, or we're saying that people are only doing this just because they have no other choice. We're not saying it in a way where like people can't just do it because they just want to be a sex worker.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I know a lot of people do it because they don't have a choice, but I don't even want us to think that they all do it because they don't have a choice. I just don't think that's the truth. I'm sorry.
You don't think that people are doing this just because they want to do it?
No, I'm saying I don't think the majority of people doing it are doing it because they have to do it. I think a lot of them just want to do it.
Yeah.
It's always the minority who does it because they have to, but I don't think that's true for all of them. I can't lie.
That's true. That's true. Like, it's a lot of different reasons. I feel like this is a very serious topic, whatever way you would like to see it. But fact of the matter is,
debate.
Yeah, I mean, fact of the matter is they decided not to do it for a reason, and it's not the money. That ain't the reason.
They was running it up though. A lot of them were. It got oversaturated after a while, but A lot of them, they really bossed up. Sucky couldn't last. Something else is gonna come now, but that was like the big dog. Like that's like if YouTube closes down. Something else is eventually gonna come, but it's not gonna be the same. Let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, with them not doing this, I'm sure many people are going to see this as an opportunity to make something very similar and have people come over there. So I really don't think that people, like workers who have this type of content, should stress at all. Wait a couple days and something else will arise in the future. I mean, if this is now a push to you to make something like OnlyFans, then
I kind of knew though. I came in line when it first came out, like when it was first becoming popular. I think I kind of knew it wasn't gonna last, cause I knew like the girls on here weren't gonna last. Not trying to like throw shade at them, but just think of the business model. If it's this easy to make money, it's not gonna last. That's just how I look at life. Making money, it has to be some type of challenge.
you don't think I think though that in our minds, from not being only on OnlyFans, we think that every girl who goes on there is making a butt ton of money. I don't think that every girl who goes on there is making a ton of money.
Yes, yeah, I already know, but I'm just saying in general, like, if the how can I put this? The harder the barrier of entry is, the more money you're destined to make. Like if you think about becoming a doctor or an engineer or a super big YouTuber or a crypto expert, the barrier of entry is like really hard. You actually have to put in work. But like OnlyFans, you have to be attractive. You have to do a lot of marketing too eventually. But the main ingredients is attraction and being 18. Barrier of entry is very low. So I already knew, like, just from the business perspective, like, oh, they're not gonna last.
I don't know though, because barrier of entry is low, but as you said, it's just like
It's oversaturated.
It's oversaturated, yes. And then on top of that, some women will go on here and like Bad Baby make $2 million in a night, and some women will think from whatever type of attention that they're getting on Instagram that I'm gonna make that type of money too, and get on here and not really make anything. Like I was listening to.
Yeah, I think you're saying the same thing though. For real.
Yeah, but I do think that it was gonna. I feel like if they wanted to continue it on, they could definitely do that because I think that if they wanted to continue OnlyFans in the same type of way with the adult content, I don't think that it would have gotten old because they have taken it to a different level.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying OnlyFans as a corporation. They was gonna be fine regardless. I'm speaking of the actual workers on there. OnlyFans, they're winning. They have oversaturation of workers.
What do you think you think that the workers would have stopped?
No, the workers they would be forced to stop.
Yeah.
Because as you get older, your attraction is going to become less. That's one. Two, it's already oversaturated. So you're going to have to become better, like extremely better, and you're already becoming less attractive as you age naturally. So of course you were going to eventually have to stop, unless you're just a big dog in the industry.
Yeah, or personality, because I also see like
I don't know, maybe
I do think personality too, because it seems like people who have OnlyFans don't only have an OnlyFans. They have many different platforms. They can be TikTokers, Instagram famous, YouTubers, people just using YouTube to like promote their OnlyFans. So I feel like it starts somewhere and then it builds into something else on there, so their followers kind of see them in a different, or get to see them in a different light.
I'm not even gonna cap. The men who subscribe to them will never see them in a different light. That's gonna be hard. OnlyFans can rebrand, but those workers, it's gonna be really hard for them to be seen in a different light. Not even gonna lie.
So you don't think that women who have had an OnlyFans would be able to rebrand themselves outside of that and get like a regular like 9-to-5 now?
Of course they can. It's just gonna be really difficult.
I agree.
I don't want to be that type of guy, but we already know how we think. Like a lot of people who don't think like, oh, it's fine. She was making money. A lot of people naturally judge people like that. We can't lie. It's just what it is. So if you're like a principal and you're hiring a teacher and she told you, oh, before I came here I was on OnlyFans, you would immediately judge her.
Well, I think the reason why I'm saying that they would be able to rebrand them is not solely based on the fact that like people will judge them because they were on OnlyFans. I think it's just because it's a really huge financial transition. Now, being a teacher is a very rewarding job, but everybody knows you don't really get. It's a hard job. It has long hours, and you don't get paid that type of money. But going into teaching, nobody says I'm gonna be a teacher so I can be filthy rich. Like, nobody says that. You'd go into teaching for a different reason. I think that if you were on OnlyFans making like $2 million a month, it would be a very difficult transition solely on the fact that you will not be making that kind of money going into a 9 to 5, especially that fast. Like,
they should have known. They should have known
It's
this, bro.
gonna-
I'm sorry, bro. That's business 101.
that is, it's just more, it's hard. Like, it's much more difficult
If you're
to
making
do that.
like, okay, I'm pretty sure like the 1%ers on OnlyFans are probably making around 100K a month, maybe. More than likely, they probably blew all that right now. They're not looking for another job. They're not educated to get another job, and the amount of effort it's going to take to get a job paying that well is not going to be the same as OnlyFans. I'm sorry, like, unless they can go to a different website that does the same thing OnlyFans does. That's the only thing they can do when it comes to that, because the working world is not like that at all. It's different, so it's going to be.
It is, but I think also another point though, because I see Tyler commented something like, and I'll say P instead of the word, but you guys know what I'm talking about. OnlyFans and the type of work that women are doing on there is not the same thing as, you know, P, because we also can't say that on YouTube because it'll get flagged. And I think when you say you are on OnlyFans, it's very different. It's like so many different things that could be happening. So many different things that you can envision in your head. It doesn't go directly to I do P. Like, so much, you could just be posting naked pictures. You could be posting feet pictures. Like, so much could happen there. So I feel like there's less room for you to judge somebody off of if it's compared to, you know, I do P. Then it's much more that will happen in your mind, and it will be much clearer about what they do. But I don't think that it's as clear when you say that you're on OnlyFans.
Very vague.
You can have an assumption of it, but
it's kind of worse. To me, that's kind of worse though.
Why?
It's not worse, but it's like just as bad.
I don't think it's just as bad.
Like, oh, you're on OnlyFans? I wonder what she was doing.
Yeah.
You're like, very suspicious.
But then you ask, and then everything kind of just goes down from there. If you say, oh, you were on OnlyFans, can I ask, like, what did you do? Oh, I just cooked food.
Why didn't you just say that? To me, it just processes it differently. Maybe everyone doesn't think like me, so this is to me. I'm trying to separate myself, but you're right.
Well, is it the same if you were on OnlyFans cooking food naked?
I'm like, but if you were a chef, why didn't you just leave with, oh, I cook food? Why would you say you're on OnlyFans?
I don't know. And that's what I think that they're trying to do. I feel like they're trying to get to a point where people can say that they're on OnlyFans without people like
people say I'm a YouTuber?
Yeah, without people thinking negatively about it or thinking, like, just assuming that they do something.
Even the name, though, OnlyFans, that just sounds, like, kind of sexual.
I don't think that it would sound sexual if the thought wasn't already put in our heads about what it was. When I first heard about OnlyFans, I thought, oh, okay, well, maybe it's only the true people who really believe in them, who are funding, like, who are actually paying for their content, kind of like Patreon. That's kind of where my mind went until I heard, oh no, only people, only certain type of people like get on here and do this type of content, whatever, and then all of these thoughts start being put in your head. Or if you're hearing these sexual songs and they're just like, I think I might start an OnlyFans. When you're hearing this stuff, your mind only associates one thing with the brand, and I think that that's why they're trying to move away from it so that they won't be only associated with the brand. Now, if people didn't only associate them with this, and it was many different things, I don't think that they would move away from adult content.
Do you ever think, like, I mean, do you think that they're gonna like completely shut out that type of content, or are they just gonna cut it back down like all the way?
Well, from what it looks like, they completely shut it out.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do it.
That's what it looks like. But I think it's only because people only associate them with this kind of content. Now, if people associated them with different types of content, then
they'd be better.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there are so many different things that could be happening as to why they don't really want to do this anymore, or like go down this path anymore.
What do y'all think about this? Because this is one of our first like real debates. We've always done this, but this is our first one of like real debates. So let me know how y'all feel about this.
Let us know in the comments below. It seems like people
y'all was going at it.
Y'all were going at it. It seems like people are mad, but you know what? You're human and you're entitled to your opinions, and we're not mad at that.
These were all opinions. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Obviously, I wasn't super educated on everything that was presented. I'm not gonna lie. They were just opinions. A lot of them were just discussion. Neither of us were super educated, so don't attack us too hard. They were just our thoughts. So, yeah.
Oh, wellsies, let us know in the comments below, and let us know what you want to talk about next, because we saw this all over the world and just thought, let's just put it here. Anyways, have a great night and later.